Imagine this. You're in your bed, it's early in the morning, and a very irritating noise is hitting in your ears. You open your eyes, wake up, and shut off the alarm. From this up until that one at night, when you are in your bed again, you scroll past your fair share of Instagram, and it is now time to sleep. All the activities that we between these two events revolves around the use of energy. The development of human society has been driven. The development of human society has been driven by the development of energy. This has been valued in the ancient Hindu scriptures as well. As I was saying, that this has also been written in ancient Hindu scriptures as well. On one occasion, the Vedas say, Agnil sarve devateyi, sarva devatayo agnil, meaning all material bodies originate from energy, and energy is the source of all material creation. Hello everyone, my name is Akshay Popat, and today we are going to have an insight on alternative energy solutions, the past, present, and future. Have you ever wondered how much energy does it take to light up the whole world? As of the year 2020, it takes around 3 trillion watts of energy to power the whole world. Well, technically not, because even after this, 1 in every 8 people do not have access to electricity, and up to 2.6 billion people do not have access to clean fuels. So how did we get to this point? Let us find out. It is said that the real wealth of a nation lies within the resources of its earth. For the past 150 years, most, if not all economies of the world have been powered by fossil fuels. Combination of dead plants and animals that have been buried beneath the surface of the earth for thousands and thousands of years turned into the fossil fuels that we know today. These are coal, mineral oils, and natural gas. The life that we live and experience today is because of fossil fuels. From the times of the first industrial revolution to this moment as I am struggling with my mic to get the voice to you, it is all because of fossil fuels. Even today, up to 2/3 of all the energy that is generated comes from fossil fuels. The problem with fossil fuels is that it is a source of non-renewable energy. It is estimated that if we keep burning these fuels at the same rate as today, then mankind is only left with 110 years worth of coal, 50 years worth of mineral oils, and 54 worth of natural gas. But that is not the big problem. The major issue with burning fossil fuels is, well, burning them. Because the carbon that is emitted through this process contributes to greenhouse effects that leads to climate change and further global warming. Looking at this, humans as a society moved to different sources of energy. Sources that are more abundant and less harmful to the environment. Thus, renewable energy. Today, what is more abundant in this world than sun and the wind? Thomas Edison is quoted saying, "I put my money on sun and the solar. I hope we do not have to wait until oil and coal runs out before we tackle that." And that is what exactly happened. The advantage that renewables has is that it is a source of clean energy because it does not have a large carbon footprint on the environment. The real question though is, can renewables actually save the planet? Even after rigorously focusing on renewables since the turn of the century, we are still only able to generate up to 1/3 of total energy from renewables. The major problem with renewables is that it is not a source of fixed energy, rather a variable one. What do I mean when I say this? Simply, the sun does not shine the brightest on all days of the year, and the wind does not blow the furthest on all parts of the world. Now, let us also consider the space required for generating this electricity. Hypothetically, if we were to power the whole world using solar energy, it would require a space of up to 95,000 square kilometers, which is an area as big as South Korea. Alternatively, if we did this using wind energy, it would require a space of up to 2 million square kilometers, which is an area as big as Mexico. Let us look at other things as well. It is to be noted that solar energy cannot be stored for longer periods of time. That means if we do not use it as and when it is produced, there is only one option: relinquish the energy. Let us also look at the downsides. Nobody actually has an idea as to how we are going to deal with the solar panels once their lifespans comes to an end. On the flip side, wind energy and wind turbines are responsible for death of countless numbers of endangered bird species throughout the year. Looking at this, it is fair to say that the real question with renewables is, in the efforts to try and save the climate, are we actually destroying the environment? Considering how energy needs to be, it is estimated that the global energy needs will be tripled by the year 2050. So what does the future have in store for us? Let us find out. It is very important for me to mention here that I'm going to focus on only 3 of what is to come. This is in no way an exhaustive list, but just a glimpse of what the future has in store. Number 1, nuclear energy. The first thing that comes to our mind when we hear the word nuclear is bombs and wars. When we utter the word nuclear energy, we are straight away reminded about Chernobyl and Fukushima. Sadly, nuclear does not have a very good reputation, does it? But it has a very strong potential. New reactors have been invented called molten salt reactors, which are more effective, can produce energy in a cost-effective way, and most importantly, are way more safer. But that is not the big deal. The revolution in nuclear energy is going to be thorium. Remember the old days when we used to play with marbles? What if I tell you that thorium the size of this marble is enough to generate all the energy that I will require for my entire life? Crazy, isn't it? And the world is equipped with such amount of thorium to power the whole of humanity today for up to 1,000 years. A side note is that 1/3 of the world's thorium is present in India. Most of it is just laying around in the beaches and the shores of Kerala mixed with sand. The advantage that nuclear energy has is that it can produce a consistent flow of energy, leaving behind the same carbon footprint as that of wind energy. Shocking, isn't it? We've never perceived nuclear in this particular way. Consider this example. Germany is one of the leaders in renewables. It produces up to 46% of its energy through renewables. Had it invested all this energy into nuclear rather than renewables, then Germany would have been a country producing 100% clean energy by now. The problem with thorium is that because we didn't have a demand for it up to now, we are yet to set a fixed supply chain for it. And that needs to be resolved. The next source of energy that I'm going to talk on is inside this bottle. I'll talk about water later, but I want to focus on one of the components of water. hydrogen. The most abundant element of the universe could be the fuel of the future. The question with hydrogen is not what it can do, rather what it cannot do, because it has tons of uses. Hydrogen can be used to power electric vehicles. More so, advancements have been made where hydrogen-generated mega transport vehicles like trucks have been invented, where this technology could prove to be effective and cost-efficient. Hydrogen can also be used to power mega steel, iron and chemical industries. Clean steel, as it is called, is already being produced around the world, where steel is produced from plants powered by hydrogen. And this will be running in our markets as early as the mid-decade. Hydrogen could also change the face, the way we see the airlines industry today. Because using hydrogen as a substitute to air turbine fuels will help reducing the carbon emissions in this particular industry by up to 1/3. Remember a while ago when I told you renewables energy cannot be stored? Surprise! Hydrogen can do that as well. How? Energy from renewables can be converted into hydrogen, can be stored underground into salt domes, and reconverted into hydrogen and energy as and when needed. The problem with hydrogen today is that most of it is coming from non-renewable sources, and that is not a good thing. Hydrogen might not be a silver bullet solution to powering everything, but if the right balance is struck, it could be of pivotal help. Now let us talk about water and tidal energy. Everything that we see happening with wind turbines and wind energy has been replicated by scientists and engineers under the oceans. Here, energy is generally produced through tidal streams and tidal ranges. Advancements in technologies like underwater kites, underwater turbines, and floating turbines are used to generate energy. Unlike sun and wind, the advantage that water has is that it is more consistent and predictable. That means, as a source of renewable energy, it has the power of generating a continuous flow of energy. The problem with tidal energy today is that because the technology is still very young, it is very expensive. But as years come by, this will surely change. Looking back at what was, what is today, and what is in futuro, we can definitely say that humans are looking above and beyond the horizons of today. What is that? Getting to net zero carbon emissions by the year 2050. Stopping burning fossil fuels. Improving the efficiency in renewables and sourcing new and advancements in other sources of energy is the primary focus. Before I conclude, I want to share a small personal experience. I live by myself here in the city, and I've rented a small place for myself. In that place, I have this part which is very poorly lit. And if some of you might have visited that place, you might be knowing that I light a bulb over it throughout the day. While I was researching for this paper, it came to my understanding that it takes up to 800 tons of coal to burn for a single light bulb to bulb for one whole year. And I felt guilty. I've been more careful while I use that bulb. With this, I hope that all of us are a pinch more careful about using energy. Let us take an oath that we are more mindful about where the energy is coming from and how we are using it. And we are also ready as and when new technology is knocking at our doorstep. Maybe one bulb cannot make a difference, but 8 billion bulbs surely can. Thank you.